Hi, it's Cassie Oelberg in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, and we are here to do sketch 4 from the September virtual crop. If you are not in the Creative Memories virtual crop group, it is a great place to be. You will get lots of ideas, inspiration. You'll see everybody else's beautiful ideas. And once a week, you can come here and build a page with me. We completed one album in the first 7 months of 2025. And so we are finishing out the year, and hopefully we'll get at least half of an album done again. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, like I said, this is sketch 4. If you have not printed these PDFs before, you just go to the blog and you click on PDF and you can print out 2 pages of sketches so that you have them right there at your fingertips. Now, as you know, I like to build on fast and it saves us time and money. So I vary them up just a little bit sometimes to get what we need. So if you look at this, this shows that it's just over 2 inches. So I am going to make this outer frame be 1 1/4 inch instead of 1 inch, giving us the space that we need to cover all of this up. The other wonderful thing is we're going to do 3-sided frames today. So if you have not done 3-sided frames before, they are super, super fun. So we're going to take our paper and we want the side to be 3 inches and the top and the bottom to be 1 1/4. So the easiest way to do that is to, first of all, flip this over. Measure over to 3 inches. And this is how you make sure that you keep directional paper directional. We don't have to worry about that this particular time, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway so that if you are using directional paper, you're okay. So we're going to bring this down to 1 1/4 inch, which as we all know means that the front of this comes down to 2 1/4 inches because the cut line is back 1 inch. So we're going to come down to 2 1/4. So down here, we want this to come down to 1 1/4 up, so 10 3/4. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can either bring it down to 11 3/4, or you can watch the back side of it. So I usually, when I have the option, I watch the front. So we're going to bring it down to 1 1/4. So now we have this done. Now we can bring it over to 1 1/4. And we can start here on the 3 inch line and just cut all the way through. We'll flip it, bring it over to 1 1/4, and cut through. So now we have this that we can use for something else later, and we have one of our outside frames. Now we're just going to do the same thing for the other side. We want our 3 inches to be over here. So we're going to take this and flip it. We go to 3 inches. We're going to bring this down to the 2 1/4 at the front, 1 1/4 on the cut line. Bring it down to 11 3/4 in the front, 10 3/4 there. Flip and do the same thing we did last time. Flip. Look how fast and easy this is, guys. It's so easy. I don't even bother to look at my measurements once I get that cut in there because it doesn't really matter. See how I just went really fast? It's going to get taped down anyway. And I like fast and easy. It's just back to life for me. Okay, so now we are going to tape this down. Oh, you know what I did not do? I did not grab an extra refill just in case. So since I know this is going in the right spot, I'm going to go ahead and use my regular tape so that maybe, possibly, I won't run out of repositionables during this demonstration. If it does, I mean, it's not that far across the cabin to grab myself another refill, and I will do that if I absolutely have to. Okay, so there we go. That down. Okay, so next up, I want this next frame that goes in here. And I am going to use this beautiful green paper. So if we math, we now know that we have a 9.5 by 9 piece in here. So top to bottom is going to be 9.5. back and forth is 9. So we actually do need this to be cut down to 9.5. Now we could just take this and put it right in here, but one of the purposes of doing this is to use this center part as our inner piece and not have to cut yet another piece of paper and stack that on top. So we are going to make another 1-inch frame. So we need it to be 1 inch all the way around. So we need this side to be 1 inch. We need to bring it down to 1 inch, which is 2 inches here. And we need to bring it up 1 inch. So we need 8.5, which means bringing the front down to 9.5. Now we're just going to take it and turn it. Bring the front down to the 1 inch. Flip it. And front down to 1 inch. And we can use this for something else later. But this is just going to layer right inside of here. Easy peasy. Ooh, I'm using up the repositionable. I think I'm going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. I mean, I just don't want you to have to wait those 15 to 30 seconds it takes me to sprint across the counter. Okay. And again, we need to do the same thing. We need to cut this to 9.5 by 9. By 9. And same thing, we need this side to be 1 inch. Put it in. Measure down to 2 inches. Front of this to 9.5, which puts us at 8 inches. We're going to turn it to 1 inch here. And do 1. And now we have the other side. You know what? I am going to stick with repositioning. This is the part I could actually put it down wrong and need to maneuver a little bit. So I like to be realistic about my abilities. Yeah, so now we can use this inside space as our third sheet of paper. So that is just going to stay the same. We don't need to cut yet another piece to go in there. So now let's bring our photos over. So I would like to do 2 4x6 photos here. We were at those boat races. So I'm going to need to cut this one down just a little bit because we have how much space left in here. We don't even have to math. We can just measure 6, 7.5 inches. 7.5. So we need to cut 1/2 inch off something. So let's cut a little bit off the bottom here. See if that's enough. Yeah, we can do that. There we go. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now over here, instead of doing the 2 4x6 photos top to bottom, what did I do with that snip? Okay, so instead of doing these 2, I want to just go ahead and make myself 4 photos to go through. So I can do that. I'm going to go ahead and let them go all the way across. So I'm going to leave them 4 inches that way. Let's pick the ones with the most extra on them. So these 2. So these 2 up top could be 4 inches. So let's see. This down a little there. It's so fun. We went to Dano again, and it was just such a good time. They actually race in bathtubs. They have to build a boat out of bathtubs and race down the river in them. And they have amateurs that come and just make them. And then they also have like professional ones, which are like big companies and stuff that all work together and make these bathtubs. So how big did we say this one was? 3.5. So we need this one to and the okay, so push it out from there. And then, you know, I can get a little bit more off the bottom there. I always err on the side of cutting just a little bit too little because guess what? I can always go back and do another cut. But as you know, we can't really put it back on once we cut it. We can tape it, we can make it work, but we can't quite fix that. Okay. So let's put these photos. Let's see. I don't want to cut any of the sides on these ones. I say no. But I don't change my mind because I am using repositionable. What did we do before repositionable? I remember when it first came out, I was visiting my friend Tracy Robinson in Virginia, and my other friend Diane Lampert was there helping. She was from home office, and she got out the repositionable tape, and she said, "Let's just do a little commercial for repositionable tape." So she had me tape down a border and put it kind of in the wrong spot on purpose. And then I had to pull it back up. We put it on a black page and it like made this big mess. And then she said, "Oh no, Cassie, what have we done?" So we tried to pull it up and it ripped and it made this big mess. And it's a little bit more off of here. It's going to make me happier. We'll take another 1/8 of an inch off. So anyway, she was like, "Oh no, what are we going to do?" So then she pulls out the repositionable tape and she's like, "Look, what's this? Repositionable tape? What does that do?" So we taped the same border down on a different page in the wrong spot again, and I ripped it up and it didn't pull things away, and the crowd went wild. But when we posted it on the company page, there were a few people that were like, "How did she mess that up twice?" And we were just dying because we messed it up twice on purpose, but that's okay. Not everybody was getting our overly dramatic humor, and that's okay. Okay, here we go. So now we have these. Okay, now I want to do these cute little tags right along here. So I have a piece of paper that we cut in one of the previous weeks, and we want a 1-inch banner. So we're just going to cut it at 1 inch. And then this is 11 inches long, I believe. Let's just double check that. Yep, so we are cut it at 5.5. I would like my banners to have the same little angle to them, so I'm just going to do them together. We're going to cut from the folded down the corner, and one's going to go here, and one's going to go, oh yeah, silly me, I made that shorter. That's okay. We'll do this first. Oh, there we go. Oops, okay, we're going to be very daring. We're going to just tape things down. That's a little scary, but we got this. Oh, we're going old school. Back to the days. Back to the days. Okay, so let's measure this. We want it to be measuring over here. We want it to be 3/4 of an inch in. 3/8 of an inch in. 5/8. Okay, so over here we've got 4 inches. So we want it to be 3 5/8. I think will work. I think that'll work. We'll play with it. We won't tape it till we lay it down because goodness knows that we're not using the good stuff. Okay, yeah, that's just what we want. Me double checking myself now that I don't have the freedom of reposition tape. Okay, so that's going to go across there. And now we can just add some embellishments as we would like. So let's pull them out. I am going to have to start thinking about what other embellishments are going to match this collection because I really want to use this collection for the whole trip. But as you can see, we don't have a lot of options of what to put down because it's mostly flowers. So by next week, I will have an idea of what other embellishments are going to go good with this, and I will share that with you. As it is, I will do that at the beginning of the next video. I will show it with my embellishments, and we will go from there. So, okay. I hope you had fun. 3-sided frames, they're the way to go. They're so much fun because it lets everything flow all the way around. If you have not done Creative Cafe International with us, my boxes and borders are over the top cute for this one. And not only that, but we do some 3-sided frames in there in my mini class. And I must say, I am super excited about them. So if you have not signed up for that, that is October 24th through the 26th. And you might want to head over to our public page, Creative Cafe International, and check that out because it's a lot of fun. Okay, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.